We heard the planes coming in and everyone like stood around and looked at them. One of my mates said, "Crikey, they're Japanese."
We could see the sun glinting on the bombs as they actually left the plane.
The bombing of Darwin in February 1942 is one of Australia's greatest ever disasters.
The first time since European settlement that Australia is under attack on its own soil.
The sea was on fire. It was full of dead bodies.
We expected the Japanese to land at any time, and there's nothing to stop them whatsoever.
But the day that the war came to Australia has remained a largely untold story.
We didn't talk about it. We were ashamed to talk about it.
And the events that unfolded in the aftermath of the bombing would be a catastrophe in itself. A breakdown in civil and military leadership would lead to desertion, looting and lawlessness.
The civilian order broke down, that the defences didn't work.
There was no effective warning sounded that day.
The siren was out of action.
It was a farce.
And government cover-ups would mean that the truth stayed hidden from the Australian people for years to come.
Darwin was, in substance, without law and order. What do you say to that?
On the 19th of February 1942, a massive force of Japanese fighter planes and bombers appear out of the morning sun to the southeast of Darwin. Australia, with the vast majority of its troops fighting overseas on foreign battlefields, is unprepared and ill-equipped for war on its own doorstep. The first attack ever on Australian soil is a bombing raid of unimaginable force and devastation. Darwin Harbour is the first target. The next bombs fall on Government House. Then the post office. The barrage of bombs spreads across the town in a wave of destruction. Just 10 weeks on from the bombing of Pearl Harbour, the full force of Japan's military might is being unleashed on the Australian mainland.
More bombs dropped on Darwin than dropped on Pearl Harbour. More ships sunk. 8 ships sunk in Darwin, 4 ships sunk in Pearl Harbour. They'd come off the same aircraft carriers that had attacked Pearl Harbour. They were the same pilots, they were the same aircraft. This was the force that hit Pearl Harbour. And these guys knew what they were doing.